Some stories don't just touch your heart, they stay there quietly, reminding you that kindness can travel through time. And what happened in this little English village will give you goosebumps. Because it's a story about a man who lost everything, and a stranger who gave him back something he didn't even know he'd lost: hope. It was early winter in the quiet town of Ashford, tucked between rolling hills and misty fields. Most people here live simple lives, small cottages, familiar faces, and routines that rarely changed. Among them was Arthur Bennett, a 68-year-old retired school teacher. He had lived in the same small house for nearly 40 years. After his wife passed away and his only son moved abroad, Arthur spent most days alone. Every morning, he walked to the village square to feed the pigeons. He'd sit on the same wooden bench, old, worn out, but facing the sunrise. People knew him as the quiet man who smiled at everyone but rarely talked. But what no one knew was that Arthur carried a secret, a deep regret from years ago. 35 years earlier, Arthur had been a teacher in the village school. There was one student, a boy named Liam Cooper, who struggled with everything: reading, writing, even speaking in front of the class. The other children laughed at him, and Arthur didn't stop them. He wanted to, but he didn't. He thought, it's just children being children. One day, Liam had run out of class in tears. He never came back. His family moved away soon after, and Arthur never saw him again. But the memory haunted him. He had built a career helping hundreds of students, yet the face of that one boy never left his mind. Now, in his late 60s, he often wondered, where did he go? Did he ever forgive me? One cold evening, Arthur's health took a bad turn. He collapsed while walking home from the bakery. When he woke up, he was in the small village hospital, dizzy, weak, and disoriented. As he blinked his eyes open, he noticed someone standing beside his bed. A tall man, maybe in his late 30s, with a kind smile and calm voice. "Good morning, Mr. Bennett. I'm Dr. Cooper. You're safe now." Arthur nodded weakly. "Thank you, doctor." Then the name struck him. Cooper. The doctor noticed the confusion on Arthur's face and smiled again. "You probably don't remember me," he said softly. "I was one of your students a long time ago." Arthur's eyes widened. "Liam?" he whispered. The doctor nodded. "Yes, sir. It's been a long time." Arthur couldn't speak. His throat tightened. Tears filled his eyes as memories rushing back. That classroom, that moment, that boy who ran away crying. I failed you," Arthur finally said, voice trembling. "I should have stood up for you. I should have done better." But Liam shook his head gently. "No, Mr. Bennett. You did do something. You told me once, don't let the laughter of others decide who you become." I never forgot that. Those words carried me through some dark days. Arthur's lips parted in disbelief. He didn't even remember saying that, but for Liam, it had meant everything. Over the next few days, Liam visited Arthur often. He brought him soup, helped him walk, and even arranged books for him to read. One evening, as the snow began to fall outside the hospital window, Arthur asked quietly, "Why are you doing this for me, Liam? After everything?" He smiled. "Because when I was a scared little boy, you gave me one sentence that changed my life. You might not have known it then, but it planted something inside me. Strength." He looked out at the snow and added softly, "Sometimes, the smallest act of kindness becomes someone's reason to keep going." Arthur turned his head away, tears streaming silently down his face. For the first time in decades, he felt something he hadn't felt in years: peace. A few weeks later, Arthur recovered enough to return home. But something had changed. The man who once sat alone on the park bench now had company. Every Sunday morning, Dr. Liam Cooper would visit with coffee and pastries, and they'd sit by that same wooden bench, watching the sunrise together. One day, Arthur asked, "Why do you always make time to visit me, Liam?" He smiled. "Because sometimes life gives you a full circle, and when it does, you say thank you to the ones who started it." Arthur chuckled, his eyes glistening. "Then maybe I should be thanking you," he said. Liam shook his head. "No, Mr. Bennett. You reminded me that goodness never disappears. It just waits until the right moment to return." Kindness is never wasted. Even the smallest act, a few gentle words, a simple smile, a moment of understanding, can stay alive in someone's heart forever. You may never see the result of the good you do, but one day, when you least expect it, it comes back. Sometimes in ways that truly give you goosebumps. So keep being kind, because while the world often forgets what we say, it never forgets how we make people feel.